Hello viewers, this is Gambia 24 with me, Sohna Tunkara. Let's take a look at our news bulletin. On police brutality, the anti-crime police commander has been put on leave over his alleged attack on the genital of a man. The sale of ram is greeted with hurdles as the Muslim feast approaches. Gambians frown over the mandatory wearing of face masks. These and more coming up on Gambia 24. Stay tuned. Welcome and thanks for joining us. The Inspector General of Police have sent the Anti-Crime Unit Commander Gorgin Boop on administrative leave over his alleged attack on Ibrahim Sane. Police issued a statement disputing allegation that the Anti-Crime Unit Chief had a role in the alleged attack, saying the story was not only false but calculated to mislead the public. However, a counter-statement from the victim alleged that the police is lying to the public that Gurgimbo beat him on his genital. Police spokesperson ASP Lamin Jai confirmed to iAfrica on Monday evening that the head of the police armed unit has been put on leave over the prevailing circumstance. The news is coming barely 1 year after the death of a market vendor in Serekunda, allegedly under the same police command. On the line is Yusuf Taylor, editor of Guyanarco Online Media, who has been busy covering police brutality. Welcome to the program, Mr. Taylor. Mr. Taylor. Hello. Hello, Mr. Taylor? What sort of move has the police taken so far?
Well, so far they've been trying to cover up, and that's been very unfortunate. But this is a first step, and it's a breaking news. It's a new news that you've just, according to your report. But more needs to be done. There needs to be an investigation. Administrative leave, does that mean that we are paying Gurgimbub for what he has done? Is he continuing to receive a salary, Gambian taxpayers' money?
Well, as investigations still continue, the police had denied the allegations of attacks. What did you find out from your meeting with Anti-Crime Police Commander?
Well, when I met him, he denied that he actually attacked the young man, but from all the eyewitnesses, it seems that that's contrary to what has happened. And from what Gorgimbu has said, there are some inconsistencies. Of late, he has just come on another platform where he was talking about he didn't force the detainees to do hard labor. And then all of a sudden, he said that he met the detainee sat outside. And how come a detainee that you said is not being forced to do hard labor, is not outside, should be in their cell? All of a sudden, you have met the detainee outside. So there are a number of inconsistencies. And when you see the medical report, it says a lot. It says a lot.
So do you think that the move to suspend him is based on public pressure, because we have seen some couple of statements released by different institutes condemning the alleged act?
Well, I think it's not based on speculation, because we have a National Human Rights Commission. They are doing a job. They have released a press release. This is a government institution which is supposed to be independent. So they're supposed to put the government in check. We don't know what exactly has precipitated to this, but we know that there was a press release from the National Human Rights Commission. So this is not just mere allegation. This young man, currently, we've all seen him on live, was on online, on television. Everybody has seen his current condition. So I think it would be baseless to say this is based on mere speculation. At least a detainee was under your police department, and he left that police department with a serious injury. Every police officer should know that when a detainee is under your watch, they are under your watch. You have a responsibility and a duty of care to their safety, especially during COVID-19. How does this
the outbreak of the coronavirus global pandemic is shrinking.
Police brutality is becoming a norm. What is likely to be the outcome of this case? Is it going to be an exceptional one?
Well, we hope this is a breakthrough. When you heard the young man speak, he not only spoke about himself, he spoke about a lady who came whilst he was there detained inside anti-crime to report about rape. So this is bigger than just him. But how was the police response? We are saying never again. And I believe this is a sign that the citizens are really committed to that cause. But what about the security sector? They also must fall in line with the security sector reforms that we desperately deserve as a country.
Thank you so much, Mr. Taylor. That was the editor of Gynaco Media. The same Golgimbo had his resident burned by a mob over alleged police brutality on peaceful protests against the leadership of President Barrow some months ago. Now, from that few days to the annual feast of Tobaski, the sale of ram is greeted with hurdles, mainly due to the impact of COVID-19 on the industry. More of that report by Ndei Sisi.
The outbreak of the coronavirus global pandemic is shrinking muscles of one-time booming businesses within the greater Banjul areas, especially when it is a matter of weeks towards the annual feast of Eid al-Adha, better known as Tobaski. Thanks to the heavy reliance on ruminants from other countries in the sub-region, the sale of rams in the Gambia for the Feast of Sacrifice is noticeably crippled by the closure of borders and the quarantine condition attacked therewith. In terms of cost, a ram is worth 2 or 3 times the price of a year before, as attested in the view of Mahmoud Sise, a concerned vendor. Customers, he said, will always complain of the financial muscles to buy what are advertised in the market.
Manam xari bo gisee ni dëkk bi la taxaw na xari dañ seer xari fiñ jaar mu seer ndax xari CFA bi dañ ko égal ak doole CFA contrôle ko Gambia dañ wara contrôler CFA Mauritanie dam fa bo fa àggee lan doon wéccé demb ak barki dem lu ëpp 20 years ci gannaaw bo ñëw lo leen la wéccé seen xaalis nga dugg léegi nag ñun fii da ngaa gis ne CFA bu également amee ñu yokk ko fan lañ ko teguñ ko ci lépp lu lorante ñu ni neen ndax parce que tey CFA xanam fekkee tey CFA dañ ne junne CFA 200 la soo jënd fukki junne CFA dafa nekk 2000 ñaar fukki junne nekk 4000 boo demee Sénégal boo fa jëndee xaram ñaar fukki junne muy 4000 nga paas ko 250 mbala 300 ñëw nga jënd sa saako ngooñ da nga ko mën a jaay 5 andi nga am fa 500 mbala 300 nga mën koo jaay lool. waaye léegi CFA léegi dem na ci junne bi mu ngi ci 450 loolu dafa nekk fukki junni dafa nekk 4005 ñaar fukki junni nekk 9000 léegi nag fanweeri junni dafa nekk 12500.
Traditionally, every household will do all it takes to slaughter a ram in celebration of Prophet Ibrahim's willingness to slaughter his only son as commandment from God. Before he will execute the command, a ram was brought in the place of his son. Babukar John, another ram seller, expressed his side of story as some of his customers will only ask for the cost but will not purchase.
Parce que jaay bi manam xari dañu ser vraiment dëkk bi tamen corona bi dafa tax manam dëkk bi dafa digga dara doxul dal fimne ni presque bo sété manam ñi jaay dañuy joy ñi jënd dañuy joy kon xam nga jaay bi du mëna neex parce que essay xari liñ ko jënd dafa ser mais légui di ngay ñëw fi di jaay manam ñom ci seen bop dañuy japp ne yow di ngay am lu bari ci xar bi fekk sax yow amo ci xar bi lu bari parfois sax di ngay jaay xar vraiment liñ ci am day neew lool dal manam du bari dal waaw liñ ci am du bari waaw client am na mom mais waxali bi mo gëna bari mais jënd bi mom bareegul mom non xamna ni mom presque boko sétlo mom marché bi yépp ben la dal manam jënd bi dal taxul mu toll non agum dal.
Eid al-Adha takes place on the 10th of the last month of the Muslim calendar. The day is celebrated to remember Ibrahim's loyalty and obedience to Allah. Due to the restrictions imposed by emergency pass regulations as a result of COVID-19 pandemic, the Gambia government launched a task force to ensure the supply and affordability of livestock during the festive mood of Eid al-Adha. For iAfrica News, I am Daisy.
From that report by NDCC, the African Development Bank has approved a grant of $53 million for 3 countries in West Africa, including the Gambia. The grant coming in consideration of the transition situation of Sierra Leone and Liberia to support their fight against COVID-19. Khadija Seka files in this report.
The grant aims to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 in West African countries by providing budget support to help fund each country's COVID-19 crisis response. These countries are currently undergoing transition with their macroeconomy and growth vulnerable to the different sources of transformation that negatively impacted them during their transitional process. Liberia and Sierra Leone have since from 2004 been battling with the deadly Ebola outbreak, while the Gambia is rejuvenating from its long-lasting dictatorial system of governance. The Gambia has recorded 277 confirmed cases of the COVID-19 with 6 deaths since the outbreak of the virus in the country in March this year. Sierra Leone recorded over 1,000 cases with 66 deaths, while Liberia confirmed 72 COVID-19 related deaths from 1,162 cases of the virus. Meanwhile, the direct beneficiaries of these programs financed by the grant will include vulnerable female-headed households, orphans and school-going children. The business community and targeted small and medium-sized enterprises in particular will benefit from economic resilience support, while the population at large will be cushioned against the effects of the pandemic. For iAfrica News, I am Khadija Tuseka.
As the African Development Bank helped the Gambia in the fight against the coronavirus, Gambians are divided over the mandatory use of face masks as the number of coronavirus cases continue to skyrocket at an alarming rate. iAfrica TV went out and about to engage people further more on the matter. More in this report by Xibar-Yi.
Once again, Gambians are divided over the mandatory use of face masks as the number of coronavirus cases continue to skyrocket at an alarming rate. President Adama Barrow lifted the emergency restrictions barely 2 days before the official beginning of the compulsory wearing of face masks in the country. Fatou Jeng, a vendor at the Serekunda market, told iAfrica TV her view in support of the use of face masks as the number of cases increase on a daily basis. She called for the strict enforcement of the regulation by the government. On the people who complained of certain ailments as excuse to the wearing of the mask, Madam Jeng opined that every claim of such nature must be verified with a medical report.
nekk ni li ma leen a dictar rek mooy nañ sol waaye fi mu nekk nii système man maa la ko waxe ñëpp ragal nañ ndax kees si ñoo dégg tiital nañu te amu doon Gambia soo fu mu nekk nii ñëpp ragal nañ ñëpp a ngi téye max moom kay xanaa ñeneen ñu ne asthmatique la because man sax dama leen di attaque ku ma taseel ne la doo sol ku ma taseel ne la anam nga ne ma mu ngi nii waaye man asthmatique patient la léegi li ma leen xelal sax ma ne leen ku nekk asthmatique patient na ko téye ci na téye këyitam bi pour wane ne asthmatique la because next week dinañ ci def loo xam ne lu am doole la ci ku takkul max.
Another businessman alleged that even some police officers who are the law enforcers are not respect the declaration.
Pour ñu sol max by force am na fi yenn police yoo xam ne sa soluñ max gis ngeen loolu noonu yéen fii si biir marché te ñoom ñoo war a nekk comme xam nga ñooñ seen boppa soluñ max seen boppa so loolu moo nekk problème bi so suñ gisee comme police solo max so yow di nga wax civilian bi si boppam mu sol max daf laa wax ne yow solloo max and obviously comme loolu mooy problème bi si boppam ñoom police yi nekkuñ di sol max and ñu bëgg a civilian ni seen boppam ñu sol max and two the government are not working on this max yi sax by right dañu waroon a génn si dëkk bi mais ko for free am na ñeneen ñoo xam ne mënuñ ta jënd seen boppam max so loolu mooy problème bi.
As the country registered 277 confirmed cases of coronavirus, he urged Gambians to believe in the existence of deadly virus. On the side of the government, the vendor called on the government to facilitate the provision of the face mask to citizens as not many people could afford the cost. The government has since Friday announced the replacement of state of public emergency with the Public Health Protection Regulations 2002. The regulations have been promulgated by the Honorable Minister of Health pursuant to the Public Health Act and the Quarantine Act under the laws of the Gambia. Part of the measures to enforce the new regulation, a fine ranging between $200 to $1,000 against anyone found faulting the orders. For iAfrica TV, I am Absegay.
Well, with that report by Xibar-Yi brings this edition of Gambia 24 to an end. Please join my colleague Ibrahim Gay with the news in Wolof. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.